All right, so let's say I want to send a link in Slack. I do this pretty frequently for work, but also for a lot of the other communities that I'm a part of. I'm in a community with a lot of other Trello Power Up developers, and sometimes when I see things in the community, I want to be able to quickly send it over to them and say, hey, this is something that relates to your Power Up, so check this out. So previously, when I'd have to do this, I'd have to copy and paste the link, and then go over here into my Slack instance, paste the link, and then type whatever sort of comment I wanted to about it, and tag anybody in it if I was interested in doing that, and voila. So that's kind of what that would look like. All fine and dandy, but sometimes I don't really even have Slack up on this screen. Sometimes I don't even have Slack up at all if I'm really trying to get some folks' work done. So PixieBrix thankfully solves that problem for me. You can set up a PixieBrix extension to send links to Slack. So I'm not going to go through and do it step by step, but I'm going to walk you through each step so you can see how it's set up, and just pause it if you need to follow along and set it up for yourself. So first of all, start by adding the context menu brick. That's a pretty simple one. If you've seen some of my other videos, we use that for sending data to Trello. So it's the same sort of thing. You want to get all the contexts, make sure to select all URLs so you can do this anywhere. Next, you want to add a brick called show a modal or sidebar form. And from there, you can call whatever you want to be the title. You can kind of preview what this modal is going to look like over here. And one of the things that I actually did is I listed out people that I would want to tag in it. So for instance, if I saw one that I wanted to mention to my friends over at Unito, I can specifically say, hey, here's, someone's asking a question about card syncing. Here's how to match those up. Or here's someone who, may be interested in learning more about Unito. So I listed in all of the options here. And down the road, it sounds like with PixieBrix, this won't be the case. Like this will dynamically be populated. But for now, you kind of need to hard code in these options. And then I also had another field for adding in, the message or anything I'd want to put there. And you can see that I use a little bit of syntax here to auto-populate it with the URL that I was going to pull, as well as a blank space so I could type a line in there. You got your submit button, or you call it send to Slack, whatever you want to send it. And then the next one, so this is only required if you're actually going to be using usernames. If you're just going to be using channels, you can skip it, and whatever you put here is actually going to be, just fine. As long as you have the hashtag in front of it and the channel name, it'll map through just fine. You can use that value somewhere else. But if you want to tag specific people or send DMs, you'll need to map that value out to their Slack ID. So basically all this is saying, it's almost like a VLOOKUP table if you've ever used one. You're saying, hey, in that previous thing, when you saw Brittany, someone selects Brittany, you actually need to make it say this. And the way you find all of these codes is by going to a user's Slack profile and over here, hit view full profile, and then when you hit more, you'll see it right here. There's your member ID. So easy peasy, not all that hard to find. You just need to hard code and paste these in. And then once you've done that, you add the send to Slack message brick, and from there you just kind of map it out as you go. You'll need to set up a hook URL, and to do this, I'll have a link in here, but you just need to go download you need to add to your workspace the incoming webhooks app, and from there it's super easy to set up. You just set a default channel, and then it'll give you this URL. You paste it in here, call your bot name whatever you want, give it an icon. You can say a channel for it to post to if you want. In my case, I actually do want it to post to a single channel. Or you could use this value from over here to inject that into, DMing it to somebody. And then this is what your text is going to be. And again, in my instance, I actually want to tag someone. So this is saying, hey, take that value that we just mapped from over here and tag them in it, and then share the message that I had there. So that's what it looks like. And in case you want to see it in action, just go over here. I click send pup to Slack, and say I want to tag myself in it. Click right there, and I can say here is a link, and just hit submit. And you should see now it has come up over here just like that.